me that I can't fucking murder all the magistrates, we're gonna have a talk.
No, that's like a good thing. Yeah, that's like a good thing. I'm saying
he just doesn't want you to murder the town.
My only experience with Divinity 2 playing with you was when it was like you, me, and Rad, and you kept fucking pickpocketing the guards of Fort Joy and dying, while me and Rad were like in the cave trying to do the quest. And you were just like, come help me! And we would like come to try to help you, and the whole party would just wipe because the guards would just fucking hit us once and we'd die.
Wow.
Okay, well, you eventually get slightly better than the guards. Like, a lot better than the guards. And I do know how to steal now, and when to stop stealing. So, instead of just immediately starting to fight with the town, I know when to do it. Yeah.
So if you're playing alone, the secret is to save before you do anything that requires a DC check, you know? Like,
you know, most of it, I just ride through it. The one, and like sometimes if I die and I forget to save, I'm like, oh gosh. But the one that really fucked me was one time I went to go save the game and accidentally loaded it. And there wasn't
I fucking do that constantly on the computer now. Because they have the quick load, quick save, and for whatever reason, once in a while, my hand just goes for F9 instead of F5, and it fucking pisses me off.
And then you got like fucking, what's that? 10 minutes of like work just done.
Yep, I hate that. I just opened the Necronomicon in BG3.
Really? Oh man, I kind of want to play BG. Okay, I keep seeing it. I'm gonna buy it. Like I'm gonna buy the deluxe version too.
Do it. It's funny. I pre-ordered it and I forgot that I pre-ordered it.
I bought it when it was still just Act 1, like when it was
that's exactly
the early release or whatever they call it. I forgot what the.
But it was out for like a year and a half, so like before the full version came out.
I'm trying to think of what that's called. Early release,
It was like their
early access.
Early access, yeah.
It was like their beta version, but everyone that bought it early access got an automatic upgrade to the deluxe, which I thought was really cool on their part.
It was.
By the way, guys, we're live.
Awesome. We're talking about Boulder. We're talking D&D, you know.
I mean, we basically are, because the more I play Divinity 2 and Baldur's Gate...
It's just D&D.
It's just D&D. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's literally, like, the way that they were able to capture a tabletop game in such a breadth in a video game is it truly is like a Marvel feat. How much the world reacts to your actions. I mean, it's they literally thought of everything, which I can't.
And you can play the game in a dozen different ways. You can be like a little evil. You can be totally evil. You can be totally good. You can embrace the worm in your head, or you can not embrace the worm in your head. It changes the game. What I'm excited
to do is play BG3 and then do the Dark Urge thing.
Yeah.
It's also like a super fun. I don't know who thought of doing that, but like I've been watching some videos on the Dark Urge one, and it's just like you like once in a while have to make like wisdom saves or whatever. Like you just get like without you controlling it, you just get the urge to fucking murder people.
That's fucking great.
I just started that. I decided to lean into the Dark Urge, so we're going to see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, they're really fucking fantastic games.
I think I'm going to ruin some stuff for you by telling you guys this. I don't know, maybe. But every single game that is at all RPG based, the back-end engine, the engine that drives it, and I'm talking World of Warcraft, Diablo, all of the Elder Scrolls games, Elden Ring, all of that is D&D on the back end. It'll roll like all of the the
that's
cases and hits, it literally rolls what is considered like a D20. So like every game engine is based off of D&D.
which is based off of Skyrim. Welcome to Crook and Murder. My name is Kenny Crook Irish Kirby, and we are talking about the Greater Key of Solomon today. I'm joined by my co-host, Max, who I hope will cut out the first 20 minutes of us talking about D&D and Baldur's Gate.
No.
But, I mean, it's imperative.
It all relates
to the podcast.
It all relates to the Key of Solomon, really. I'm Maxwell Murder. You can dial him for murder.
And of course, we got special guest Alex here, who I'm starting a quote unquote D&D campaign vicariously through Divinity Original Sin with him.
Ooh.
It wasn't by choice. I've been forced into servitude.
I have a feeling it's going to go kind of bad. Maybe we should stream it.
I think it'll be fine. I would prefer not to stream it, but I guess we could.
I mean, we'll just save Scum a bunch. And then I can steal everything from everybody. Or, Alex, you could be my fall guy, right? So I grab all the stuff and steal it. And then I get the fuck out of Dodge, and they'll be like, "Hey, can I search your shit?"
That is a real quick way for me to stop playing as well.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, that's how you do it, though. Honestly, if you have nothing stolen on you, after you steal from somebody and get your rogue out of there, they'll check the characters that are around you, and if nothing's stolen, they'll be like, "Okay, you're good to go."
Yeah.
And then you could literally.
You're gonna make Alex a patsy.
You could literally go back wearing the boots that you just stole, and talk to the person.
Who am I, John Wilkes Booth, or who's the one that killed fucking Kennedy? Why can't I think of his name?
Why can't I think of his name either?
Oh my god!
What the fuck is his name?
At some point.
Dude, I gotta start sending. I gotta Lee Harvey. Yeah, thank you, Oswald. But I gotta start sending you these. So I found a channel on YouTube that does fake Joe Rogan conspiracies. So it's an AI that does Joe Rogan's voice, and some of the it is possibly one of my favorite things in the entire world.
Oh my god.
And some of the conspiracies are just close enough that I'm like, this is real dangerous. This is on YouTube because people are gonna watch this and think it's fucking real. But some of them are just so outlandish and silly that it's so good. It's so good. I'll have to send it to you guys tomorrow or something like that. It's really funny.
I feel like Joe Rogan is just ripping off Art Bell.
I was browsing Reddit the other day, and you know how Diablo is slowly getting better, according to the general public. So the general public's view is actually starting to shift to this is a good game, and give it about 6 months from now, Reddit's going to be like, we never said this was bad, but
yeah, pretty much.
I read this post on Reddit, and this guy's like, I know what's happening. Blizzard is employing all these people to go in and make bots to make the game look good. And then he's like, and they got Elon Musk in their pocket, so that way Elon Musk can verify all these accounts.
So one of the things that because this is what brought up the channel for the fake Joe Rogan thing, was you brought up the Mandela effect. So one of the clips is Joe Rogan talking about, he's like, it's just the government using the Mandela effect to see how far they can get away with retuning people's psyches and shit like that. And I'm just like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Well, see,
he just
and it does AI generated photos for the backgrounds to support whatever the AI Joe Rogan's talking about. It's really good. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I actually believe in the Mandela effect because I remember the Bernstein Bears being STIN.
Yeah, it's not the Bernstein Bears.
Well, then you were wrong.
Well, what about the dash between Kit and Cat?
Again, you would be wrong.
That doesn't exist anymore, Alex. Realities are converging, And in that sense, we're going to talk about the Greater Key of Solomon. How
Yeah.
you can fracture reality to benefit your lifestyle. The Greater Key of
Uh,
Solomon is more or less a book left by Solomon to his son to teach him magic.
Yeah, his son was kind of a dipshit, but yeah.
Yeah,
But
to access cheat codes.
Yes.
spoiler
Well,
alert,
it's
magic-
God mode.
magic is really, really, really hard. Like if you if you read through this, and everyone's like, "There's no magic in the world. There's none of this," and it's like, well, yeah, because most people don't want to wait till the third month of the year on the 30th day and hope that there's a fucking full moon, so that way you can craft a shaft to a hilt of a fucking blade you have to make 6 months later.
Hope that
Well,
there's
and
a
a
full
fucking-
moon. You know exactly when there's going to be full moons. Very
No, but
predictable.
you got. I would say the items that you need that the book this book suggests or tells you that you need for, and they don't even call the translation isn't even like spells. It translates to experiments. Um, are weird shit that you can only get in like Israel or the Middle East or like, and some of it like is like amulets that supposedly were given to angels.
That would make sense, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it makes a lot
And
of sense.
I mean,
that's the thing, is like nobody is going to go out there and get this shit. They'll be like, okay, so it says the wheat from a fucking fallen field of grain,
Yes.
and it's like, you know what? Frosted Flakes will work. And
Oh my god.
that's the reason why magic isn't working anymore, guys, because nobody wants to go out there and actually do the work to get the shit that's required.
Yeah. Or nobody wants to talk to a demon who's going to give them tonsillitis.
Oh well, that too.
Because
All right.
there's one. There is one.
So,
all right, you want to talk about the book a little
yeah,
bit?
go ahead and
Yes.
kick us off.
Let's do it.
All right, so the Greater Key was allegedly written by King Solomon himself towards the end of his reign. He wrote, like Ken said, he wrote it as a means to pass down the knowledge he acquired to his son Rehoboam.
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 Yeah.
Okay. So, and
Rehoboam.
Rehoboam was then instructed via the book to have it buried in his what is it?
I think it's
Sepulcher. Sepulcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA his butthole when he died, to prevent the arcane from falling into evil hands. However, many years later, a group of Babylonian. Man, Babylonian. I am super tired. I apologize.
All right.
Philosophers uncovered the manuscript and struggled in deciphering it.
Yeah.
One of them, Lo, or is it Lohi? Do you pronounce?
It would be Lohi in Hebrew.
Yeah, so Lohi Grievous.
Yeah.
Made me think of Ricky Gervais, but anyways,
Yeah.
suggested they ask the Lord for help, and an angel appeared to them, but to assist them, but only under one condition: that they hide the text from the unworthy and the wicked. You know, kind of like Donald Trump, or
I was going to say
Ronald Reagan, or
Ronald
Barbie.
Reagan, yes.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll go with Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Gravis then proceeded to place a spell on the book that nullified all magic within it to anyone who was not worthy, wise, or fearful of God.
you know,
And I think we should try something. We should try an experiment from this book.
Oh my
guys, 'cause
god.
okay,
none of us,
I would
none
say
of us are. None of us are worthy, wise, or fearful of God. So I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
well, they already fucked up the book. It's like, keep it out of the hands of the wicked, and it ended up on the internet.
Say we give it the old college try.
It ended up on the internet. Yeah, they
It's
really did not plan for the future there.
No, that's like the absolute worst you can go with the entire human race. So yeah.
They were probably. I mean, they weren't exactly. They're probably thinking like, well, we can hide the book in a cave or something. There won't ever be a source of all knowledge to everybody in the palm of their hands.
At any time and place. So the Key of Solomon is split into two small books, each book roughly 60 pages. The first book details a number of things, such as the planets and their alignment properties, although I'm going to have some issues when we talk about that section. Symbols such as the pentagram, used to entrap demonic spirits, invocations and ceremonies used to summon said spirits, and a handful of spells to warp reality to your will. The second book is more like the Discovery Channel series, quote, how it's made. Which, that gave me a good laugh. It breaks down how to collect, sanctify, and store the various tools and materials you'll need to conduct the rituals or experiments, and also contains symbols to confuse and entrance your foes with your calligraphy skills.
Very, very important. I'm going to say that, so I hate astrology, but in the time and place that this was supposedly written and found, astrology was considered a real science.
You'll see. I don't know if you read my comments, but you'll see.
I read
you'll see coming up,
but
no problem.
I completely get it. It's just kind of like even like modern medicine has only not relied on astrology for the last 400 years.
Okay.
That is true. The biles or whatever, the fucking black bile, yellow bile, whatever.
Okay, look, hear me out. I think the universe is governed by fucking ones, zeros, sound, and light.
Oh my gosh.
So you can probably decipher in the stars what's going on. However, that doesn't mean some chick at the New York Times could write a horoscope for me to tell me how my day is going to go.
All right. So contrary to what we have learned about occultists through Hollywood and the church, the Greater Key of Solomon is actually considered good magic. See, which is why I think we should try something from the Greater Key of Solomon. Multiple times,
if you fuck it up, it becomes very bad magic.
We won't fuck it up. Multiple times throughout the book, the author warns that the spells should only be held within, should be used for evil. Should not be used for evil. If they were used for evil, it would be very, very bad for you.
Thank God he didn't give you the book.
The spell will either not work, rebound, or damn you. Though, however, even though it is a good magic, blood magic is frequently used in many of the spells, as well as sacrifices and ritualistic blades. Modern interpretations of the book will include side notes by the transcribers, warning the individual that blood magic hovers dangerously close to dark magic, and to either not do it or proceed with caution. See, guys, a little elbow grease, a little bit of caution. I think we could do this.
Well,
and a goat that we're gonna kill.
You went from.
I can get the goat,
Alex. You went from hey, let's try a spell to find our socks to let's try to spell to give us a bunch of money. Like
I never said that.
No, but you were like, see, it's good spells, and now you're like, okay, maybe we could try some blood magic as long as we're careful.
I never said.
This is how
I did imply that. That is true, but I'm just saying, if it's good magic, we should, try one spell to use it for good. I don't know, like end homelessness, or I don't know.
This is how Jafar came to be in power.
The lion?
No, what? Aladdin.
No.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's the evil sorcerer from Aladdin.
I'm sorry. I'm not a Disney nerd like you, Ken. I get my Disney movies confused sometimes. I apologize.
So, the other thing about the blood magic, so the notes that are in the margins from the transcribers and the translators were put there during the Renaissance. In Solomon's time, animal sacrifice was common, and it was an accepted practice. And actually,
to be honest
religions still practice it.
In a lot of respects, in modern times, it's still. The amount of fucking mice and rats and bunnies and shit that die at the hands of cosmetic companies and fucking medicine.
Is that magical animal sacrifice?
We didn't really move that far away, right?
Technically, McDonald's does animal sacrifice to make us all fed.
I'm just looking this up because I can't remember. There is a Jewish holiday that some Jews will still sacrifice a goat, and I can't remember the holiday, so I'm looking it up.
All right, so planetary hours while you look that up.
Yeah.
So understanding planetary days and hours are crucial to any spell or summoning contained within the tome. Basically, each day of the week is given one of 7 planets: Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, which is not a planet, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon, which is not a planet. Because
They didn't know that.
Solomon was so smart with the whole knowledge of the universe, doesn't even know what a fucking planet is. So
listen, okay, NASA scientist, all right, you got to put this into perspective of that time period.
They didn't even have telescopes.
Not. Solomon is supposed to have the knowledge and wisdom of God, and God is supposed to know all. So I would not accept that.
Maybe the sun isn't a planet. We just labeled it as such.
The word of God is hard to decipher.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take fucking Pluto back from NASA and say that is a planet. And then I'm going to say the sun's a planet and the moon's a planet now.
Oh, God. I just want to break your legs.
When I'm bored, I actually just stare at pictures of the New Horizons pictures of Pluto because they're amazing.
Yeah. And when I'm bored, I usually stare at pictures of Widowmaker.
Really?
So
it's like the same. I mean, she's got a moon. In fact, she's got 2 moons.
Pluto's really beautiful. I didn't realize it was such a mix of colors.
Those pictures are amazing. That fucking probe, that mission was a huge success, and they found out so much about Pluto. And Pluto is full of different shit. It's such a beautiful. Those pictures are amazing.
You could also all of that could be applied to fucking Widowmaker as well, because I would love to probe her. And
oh my god,
god damn it,
she has a moon. Some would call it a cake.
She's got a plump moon. So furthermore, each hour is governed by one of the planets, as well as the angels and archangels that rule over them. The planets are on a 7-hour rotational basis and split between day and night. The day begins at sunrise, ends at sunset. Night begins at sunset and ends at sunrise. Spells and summonings recommended around a certain planet will be strongest on the day and hour of that planet. Makes sense. Also, certain ingredients for spells and tool making are required to be collected at specific celestial days and times, which again, I guess would make sense. Just depends on, I don't know what kind of ingredients we're talking about, but
we're talking about some weird shit
grown and whatever. So,
you gotta make an amulet for this.
And then finally, some demons and spirits will only appear at specific hours.
Yeah, they work in shifts. Yeah. Okay. So, like, when the fucking demon is off...
factory line of demons.
He's playing Baldur's Gate 3. He's not going to come down for your ass.
It's the Ford manufacturing. They're unionized.
Yeah, they fucking clock in and clock out. They got a time card.
Alright, so let's break down these planets and days associated with them, the traits behind them, and what D&D class they would be.
I like that.
Saturn.
Oh, I did that. That's totally cool. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is. I really enjoyed this section. So
actually, our 20 to 30 minute talk on D&D and Baldur's Gate at the beginning of the
was totally relevant.
Totally relevant.
Was relevant.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So we have Saturn, which is Saturday. This time is good for summoning dead souls from Hades, only if they've died a natural death, which I want to bring up. What's a natural death? Like, if you get mauled by a pack of coyotes, is that considered natural?
Well, yeah, because a pack of coyotes killed you, so that's a natural death.
I would think from illness or old age, but that's
I know, but alright, so bringing good or bad fortune to businesses and buildings. Summoning familiars, communicating with spirits, acquiring learning, bringing destruction and death, and sowing hatred and discord. So, kind of a mixed bag here.
Like
associated types of wood are juniper and pine. The associated type of metal is lead. And you know what I recently learned? Did you know that George Washington's teeth were made of lead and like horse teeth and shit. And
He had so many different dentures.
and can you imagine growing up in a time where it's just like, oh, you don't have any teeth? Here's lead to just stick in your mouth for fucking 15 years of your life.
He had wood, he had ivory, he had like a bunch of dentures. Like,
I'd go be a pirate. That just sounds like a way more fun life.
One thing that I should mention too is he did have dentures that were made out of slaves' teeth. So let's keep this real for. So I mean, not cool, man. All right, and the D&D class associated with Saturn would be the Necromancer.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But I hope you did because you wrote it. So it would be kind of weird if you didn't agree with it.
I'll say that necromancy is discouraged by most magic wielders today and in the past.
Bad juju, man. You don't want to. You don't want to be fucking with the natural order of nature, right?
And also by Blizzard, because you can't make a minion build from a necromancer. They haven't fixed fucking Diablo 4 yet, where minions are valuable. But go on.
I'd also say that necromancy is a stinky business, and I don't want to get into it.
No. Ew.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if I grew up in like the 1870s or whatever, I feel like I think I'd be a grave robber. I think not like a grave robber, but you know, like how universities and shit would pay people to like just go fucking dig up dead bodies.
Yeah.
I think I would do that.
A body salesman. Yeah.
That sounds cool as shit. That's an easy job. You just sit there, drink beer, and fucking dig up corpses.
And just fucking dig up corpses, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this has a gold ring on it. I'm gonna take that. You know?
Yeah. They don't need that for science.
Body. Yeah.
It's probably good money. I wonder how much would a dead body go for in the 19th century?
This is imperative for the podcast. We got to know this.
I'm just curious how much you would get per body.
I used to know a guy, and he'd ask a lot of people this question. I worked with him. We were both systems engineers. And he would be like, hey, what do you think, like, if we were born in, like, the 17th century or the 18th century, like, what would we be doing? And, like, his answer was always, like, we'd probably be engineers or architects. And I was always like, I'd be a fucking pirate, man.
I'd be a pirate. Yeah, the pirates had democracy. Like, their shit was on point. And plus, you get to be like, fuck the system.
And if you didn't get syphilis, you had kind of a long lifespan.
Listen, I expect, like, if I'm signing up for piracy, I'm signing up for syphilis. It comes with the package.
I mean, why don't you guys go join the Houthis or whatever they're called? Fucking
that's a different type of piracy.
Yeah, I want to yell "Yar" and swing across two other ships with the blade in my mouth.
Kirby, do you know what the cure for syphilis was back then?
Fucking more dick.
It's very unpleasant. They took a giant syringe full of mercury and injected it into your urethra.
Oh my god, dude.
Jesus,
you're gonna go crazy and die. You know what would be great for you? Mercury.
What it does is it kills everything in there before Blackbeard had it done to him, but it didn't work because it already spread to his brain.
Yeah, you're
but
just
that
like,
oh my god.
I had syphilis, but now I'm a eunuch.
I mean, a lot of times it ended that way.
Yeah.
Well, then how are you going to be a ballless pirate?
Womp, womp, womp.
Well, you know what? I take that back. There were plenty of very successful and very probably good-looking female pirates.
There were. And bodies.
God. Are you adding sound effects to the fucking podcast?
Well, I recently learned that Discord has got a soundboard, so 100% I'm going to be downloading sounds.
I'm glad we're a fucking 1990s West Coast DJ now.
Absolutely. I'm going to love every minute of it.
Welcome to Crook and Murder in the Morning.
I'm going to go off topic here for a second. Kirby, you do know the story of Anne Bonny, right?
Yeah, no, I said there's plenty of good-looking and awesome pirates that are females out there.
She pirated with her boobs out.
I know. Yeah,
I love her.
Part of the reason I want to join pirates.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get on with this. So
And not
we
the
got
football team, Alex.
we got the sun, which is associated with Sunday. Sunday.
Makes sense.
This was good for perfecting experiments regarding temporal wealth, fortune, and
Ooh.
divination, gaining the favor of princes and princesses, dissolving hostile feelings, and making friends. Associated type of wood was laurel, and the associated type of metal was gold. And this D&D class would be a drum roll, please. Oh wait, hold on.
Nope, don't. No. God
Oh,
damn
wrong,
it. Oh, wow.
drum roll.
Wow. Way to knock
Wrong
that
drum
one out
roll.
of the fucking park.
Would be a bard. All right, I'll
Wow.
stop with the sound effects. All right, next we got the moon, which is associated with Monday. This was good for embassies, voyages, envoys, messages, navigation, reconciliation, love, spells used to recover stolen goods, obtaining nocturnal visions, which who wouldn't want night vision, and preparing anything with water. Which I don't know exactly what that means, but
That means purifying water so you can drink it.
Yeah, that's a good time to make soup, Alex.
oh, I see. Preparing anything with water. All right, it's not
Yeah.
like Moses parted the Red Sea on a Monday.
Listen,
No.
Alex, if you want to make spectacular soup, wait until the planetary moon is in an alignment, and then cook it up on the stove, and then you're gonna have some great soup.
Oh man! Oh, that reminds me. I should take some of my turkey soup out of the freezer.
Make it on Monday?
What are you doing? Yeah, do it on a Monday.
I don't think I made it on. I might have made it on
You
Monday.
fucked it up. Try
It was like right
reheating
after
it on
Thanksgiving.
Monday.
Yeah, reheat
Alright.
it on a Monday.
Waning and waxing. The time between the new and full moon are good for performing experiments and spells, but when the moon is waning, it's time for war and discord, motherfuckers.
What?
Fucking turn on that heavy metal, bitch.
Not to be
Yeah, let's
confused
listen to
with
some
the app.
fucking.
Type of wood associated with the moon is willow. Type of metal associated with the moon is silver. Makes sense, I guess. And the best D&D class that describes this period is druid.
love
Those
it.
granola crunchy,
Soup eating
barefoot
druids.
walking soup eating druids. Yeah.
Also, you can fuck the bear in Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah, you can.
when he's a bear. All right.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
guess I'm just
can.
gonna switch to Baldur's Gate 3 tonight. Fuck Divinity. I didn't know I could fuck bears.
I was.
I'm banging Shadowheart, and it's
God
great.
damn it!
I was gonna do a boing, but I don't have that sound effect.
I almost feel like you have. God damn it! You're this close to greatness, Alex. You have a soundboard in front of you filled with sound effects, and you keep hitting the wrong one.
He's so
Well,
right.
I don't have a boing. That's the problem. I only have the 6 generic Discord ones. Don't worry, I'll add more. We'll really spice this podcast.
This is
up.
KJLE in the morning with Crook and Alex and Murder, coming to you live from the West Coast, playing only the oldies and the goodies.
All right. Next, we got Mars, which is Tuesday. This is good for war, military honor, acquiring courage, overthrowing enemies, bringing ruin, destruction, and death, summoning souls from Hades who died in battle, and then causing chaos and rocking like whoever that guy is.
Amadeus.
Cause
Amadeus.
chaos,
Amadeus.
rock like Amadeus.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there.
What do you mean?
It was
What that's Amadeus.
Okay.
I thought it
see.
was
Wolfgang
good wordplay.
Amadeus. Like
I see-
everybody
I
knows
see.
that guy.
I see what
It
you
was
did
good
there.
wordplay. I like it.
All right.
I stole it
Type
from
of wood
Kid Rock.
associated
but,
is
yeah.
Cornell and cedar. Associated metal is iron. And the best D&D class that describes Mars in this time is barbarian.
I agree with that 100%.
I agree with it. Yep.
Why don't they have a
yeah.
bard class in Diablo?
I don't,
Uh,
I mean, I don't know if it would really fit.
Listen, you just make
Yeah.
them heavy metal, and they only play Tenacious D songs. And then
That
like,
would okay. To be honest with you, if they had a season where like that's the only time you could play it, and like just everyone played a fucking bard that only did Tenacious D songs, I would totally
Yes.
play that season of Diablo 4 in a fucking
Absolutely.
heartbeat.
Absolutely.
And every time you're on your horse, it's just like, we'll ride and we'll never subside, and we'll ride till the planets collide.
Next, we got Mercury, which is associated with Wednesday. It's good for recovering theft by spirits, acquiring eloquence and intelligence, practicing science, divination, scrying, and deceit. Type of wood associated is hazel. Type of metal is mercury. And this would be most associated with the wizard.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scrying, divination. Yeah.
Deceit.
Maybe warlock.
Yeah. Acquiring intelligence. Intelligence is your main stat for rolls.
Yeah,
as a wizard.
that is true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Next, we have Jupiter, which is Thursday. It's good for using spells of invisibility, kindness, and love.
Ooh.
Kevin Bacon would love Thursdays in Jupiter. Acquiring riches, contracting friendships, preserving health, and arriving at all that thou desire. Type of wood associated is box and oak. Type of metal is tin, the shittiest of all metals. And the most associated D&D class is rogue.
You needed. Hey, tin was important during the Bronze Age because you needed it to make
I never
bronze.
said it
What is
wasn't
this?
important.
What's
I
this
just said the
animosity
shit-
against tin?
I just said the shittiest of all the metals.
Did a rampaging
Alright,
pack
alright.
of tin cans kill your parents? Like, why do you hate tin so much?
This is a story for another time. All right, last but not least is Venus, associated with Friday. It's good for forming friendships, kindness and love, joyous and pleasant undertakings, traveling to the Bahamas, preparing powders, preparing powders provocative of madness, and poisons. So it's good to really get those cancer balls with oh, that joke didn't land. The fuck is that powder? Gold bomb? Is it gold bomb that was giving people cancer?
No, it was gold. It was gold bond.
Talcum powder. Yeah.
Talcum powder. Talc. Yeah, it was talc.
Yeah, that joke. Can we? Yeah, that. All right. I'm just gonna continue.
We'll fix it. It's okay.
All right. And then the associated type of wood is myrtle. The associated type of metal is copper, as we all know is the fourth best metal. And the most D&D class is ranger.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and defend astrology here for a second, but you realize that throughout the week, we actually maintain a lot of these traits on those days. Like, hear me out. Friday, we're like super excited about shit, and we're like, yeah, the weekend started. Boogie down. And then Saturday, we get our freak on and become like the necromancer. Just whatever we want to do, it's doable. Sunday, we go, okay, maybe we need to like hold up a second, try to be like fucking, enjoy and relaxed.
Day.
Yeah, and try to relax for the day. And then Monday, we're like, okay, we're back at work. Let's try to be happy. And so we're going out envoying and whatnot.
Who the fuck works on a Monday saying, let's try to be happy?
Listen, because you have unbridled optimism at the beginning of the week. And then Tuesday, work fucking destroys you, so you go into war mode. And you're like, fuck this fucking job. And then you're like, angry. And then Wednesday, you're like, okay, and then calm down. Try some scrying and divination. And
Scrying and divination. Wednesday might be your weakest one, but continue.
And then Thursday we get hope again. Kindness and love, acquiring riches, contracting friendships, because we got Friday right around the corner where we can go crazy.
I guess I kind of agree.
I don't, not at all. But continue.
So, but a lot of this. So, we're looking at it from an esoteric point of view, right? But if you look at it from the point of view of Judaism, the week that you just described is our week, right? So, like Saturday is the Sabbath, and the description of when the day ends and begins is still how we view it. So, like the Sabbath technically begins sunset Friday. and then it ends sunset Saturday. So like it's in the book, like
Man, my
the Torah.
Saturday's already over. This is fucking bullshit.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
I've always had I have a serious question, and I don't know if you can answer
Yeah.
this. And tell me if this is like an insensitive question. But you know how like on Sabbath, like if you're like a super conservative Jew, like you can't like use
They don't do
like
shit.
technology. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a
have
story
like
about that.
do they have like ways around that? Like do they
Yeah.
cuz like in modern society sometimes like
Yeah.
it's impossible to not
So there's a couple of companies that actually make shit like that. In particular, phones that'll dial 911 in a way that does not equal the hardcore Jewish definition of work, right?
interesting.
So like, yeah, so like there have phones that like basically you kind of just take a little piece out of it, something falls into place, and it'll dial 911.
That's
Like
super interesting. And that's not
and then
considered work?
yeah, I honestly a lot of the shit that's in holy books is bullshit, right? It's all like it's just
Yeah.
interpreted.
Yeah,
But like so these people so really really observant Jews like view the Sabbath as something like you can't do shit. Like and if you cause like this is why they can't turn on the lights. Like you can't hit a light switch because if you cause someone else to work like
that's just
the
as
power
bad.
plant. Yeah. So like I have a long time ago when I lived in LA, before I moved, I was probably like 27. I used to do these how do I put it? I took recovery meetings into a detox on Fridays, and it was Friday night, and it was at a Jewish hospital, Brotman Hospital, and there was a guy who had brought his wife in um, for an emergency, and they were very Jewish, and like like if something's wrong, like if you got to go to the hospital, you can get in the car and drive to the hospital. But after his wife was in, and I was sitting outside smoking, he comes to me. He's like, "Hey, can you turn the dome light off in my van?"
Oh,
And
interesting.
I was like, "Sure." And then he stops. He's like, "Wait, are you Jewish?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll get someone else to do it." And he got
I'll get a fucking infidel to do it.
yeah, exactly. Like it was. That's how like most Jews aren't like that, but there are like a good portion that like you can't turn the oven on, you can't make food.
What
Like
the fuck? Like
yeah,
I nothing against your faith, but I I would have divinity fucking withdrawals.
Dude,
definitely can't play
maybe it
video
would be
games.
good for you then. Maybe it would be good for you to just like unplug, you know?
Yeah, just
Rewire
fucking
some of those neurons.
draw
So
the next part of divinity in a notebook.
in the Fairfax district of Hollywood, right, where like all of the Hasids and the conservatives live, on Saturdays, like after services, they just walk around the neighborhood. That's all they do till sunset.
Yeah, it would be for me. It'd be like that meme of John Travolta, where he's just walking to the various places and like shrugging his shoulder. I'd be like, "What
Yeah,
am I supposed to do now?"
that's what they do. And most of them fast. You don't really eat on Saturdays.
I mean, look,
But
that's okay. Point counterpoint. Their their lifestyle might be a little bit better because I shit you not, I went through Maverick today and I was like, all I want to do is binge play fucking Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, that's also I totally forgot about this too. The fucking I don't know how to pronounce this. Erov? Erov?
Erev.
The line in New York City. Yeah, that allows them to do normal things.
Technically, Erev means Eve.
So I'm
But
at
yeah,
Maverick.
it's like a line.
I'm at Maverick and I'm like, all I want to do is binge play fucking Divinity all day. Drink soda and Red Bull, and I need something to eat as well. And this
Yeah, I mean,
literally,
you're fucked.
I was in the candy aisle, and this literally happened. I was like, I don't want Butterfinger because it's like, a one shot.
Yep.
God, I love Butterfingers.
I don't want
Me too.
sour Twizzlers. That sounds good. But then I looked at regular Twizzlers, and over the like music, that plays in the store, Dreamweaver came on. It was like Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. And I was like, this is a sign. So I bought Twizzlers.
That was a sign. That was like God talking to Moses from a burning bush.
Yes,
That's what that
it was exactly like that. But God wanted me to buy Twizzlers for Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh man! All right, so let's when I get back, talk about the book.
You guys want me to tell another pointless story? Okay.
No. All right. Okay. So I'm assuming this is all right. So the Greater Key of Solomon is man, I'm all over the place here today. All right.
This one should be fairly easy to edit. Max, just knock out everything.
I got it. I got this one. Don't worry.
All right. So the planets and their alignments are the first part of the Greater Key, focusing on conjurations, prayers, spells, pentacles, which, oh man, could that be a dirty word? Which it just means talismans and symbols.
Yeah.
But slow your roll there, Harry Potter, before you go casting random ass spells. There's a couple things to keep in mind. So, first, magic is notoriously hard. To complete the summonings and spells in the book, you must first memorize the prayers and actions. Then you must prepare ritual blades to combat the demons. After that, you must craft the pentacles. Again, could be very dirty. To ward off the evil spirits and wear them on you at all times. Then, you must create the symbols and inscriptions that draw and ensnare the demons. Finally, you must find some friends, at least 2 others, so there's 3 of you in total, wink wink, that are willing to get naked with you in the woods and sanctify themselves, which I would assume means either doing soggy waffle or just a jerk circle in general. Now, what I would like to add to this is there are no 2 guys I would rather be alone and naked in the woods with. So I commend both of you, and I look forward to cementing our friendships naked in the woods casting a spell.
Listen, friendship.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have no shame. I'll get naked in front of anybody. Like, I walk around with the windows open.
Friendship.
My girlfriend hates it.
Friendship is hard, Alex. Okay, and I will get naked with you in the woods and frolic through the willows at some point. But this is exactly why.
Whoa. I don't know if we need to be frolicking.
If we're getting naked, we have to frolic. That is.
So being naked in the woods is frolicking.
I will.
You gotta sanctify yourself. You gotta frolic first to get it out of you. You gotta get the yayas out of you.
Have you ever tried frolicking?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I must
have
at
skipping,
some
but
point.
slower.
Yeah, and then you go the entire time.
Such a creepy giggle.
That's frolicking.
Like this is how cryptos start, because people would see us running through the naked giggling, or running through the woods naked giggling to ourselves, and they'd be like, "There's talking bears in the woods."
There's talking bears. There's Bernsteins.
There's a red-headed bear running through the woods with his bearded friend.
All right. Another thing to keep in mind are your intentions. If you are doing this to harm someone or being evil or bring evil down on them, it will backfire horribly, or it just simply will not work. Stray even a little from the script, and you will likely nullify the spell, meaning it could take months before you can do it again.
Yeah, you gotta look the intention. So all of the stuff in the Greater Key is meant to be with the intention of good, even though you can technically do bad with it. But you need a different grimoire to do bad. Technically, you need like the Necronomicon, which isn't real, but you know.
Listen, see, this is what I'm talking about. Why magic wouldn't necessarily work for me, because I'd far rather go to Maverick and just buy Twizzlers and play Divinity all day, rather than
like you're a pansy,
do all this shit. I mean, yeah, but
okay.
I'm
So
just not.
Yeah,
that's tough.
When it describes intention, it means like your intention has to be completely selfless. which is like an impossible thing to do
Nowadays, yeah.
for most people.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
for
like,
you mere mortals.
I truly think like if getting into
I'm over
heaven
here saying
requires
that we should do a spell to end homelessness, and you guys are like, nah.
if
Yeah, but
if
is
getting,
the intention to end homelessness because you want to help people, or is the intention to end homelessness because you're bothered by guys asking you for change?
yeah, because you don't want to give them $20 anymore. See, that's not selfless, Alex. That's selfish. And I don't think
Even
there's
if you
anybody in this world that's selfless anymore. We're all fucked
even
when
if
we die. If the
even
Mormons are
if you
correct.
want to end homelessness, even if you have even the hint of like, I want to end homelessness because I'm tired of seeing all these tents in fucking Hollywood, like that, like you can't have even a hint of selfishness.
Man, I really am more pure than you fucking mortals. Jesus Christ. My intention is to let everybody have a fucking home.
Okay, Bono.
We can appreciate.
Ever.
Yeah. No, I'm with Alex on this.
Compare me to Bono again.
Look,
I fucking hate Bono.
I have a feeling
you would get to shit on me a lot.
Because
but if you ever compare me to Bono again,
Alex, you would just be like, I ended homelessness.
Bono's a horrible person.
I'm starting a charity drive to let the entire world know what a great guy I am.
No, I never said a charity drive. It's just...
No. I think Alex actually has good intentions here. But yes, Bono's intention is to try to start a charity drive so everyone knows how good he is.
Fucking Bono.
I hate
Bono so much. All right.
I hate that man.
Speaking
so
of hating Bono, there's an interesting tidbit about the book, which refers to those who summon and dispel demons as exorcists and necromancers. The Greater Key of Solomon contains 3 different conjuration spells, each more powerful than the last. The final being if the first 2 failed, so I guess it's kind of like a oh shit button. It also
it's
contains
like logic.
Yeah. It also contains prayers to command, quell, and control the demonic forces, after which you can force them to tell you their secrets, like the whereabouts of hidden treasure, your future, your friend's future, if your friends pick their noses, or if they fart in people's mouths. Finally,
or
the book,
if they have tonsillitis.
or syphilis.
There's a demon for that.
Finally, the book offers up ways to disband and dispel demons, making the reader an amateur exorcist, which again I think would be cool.
There's a lot of the second part of the book is focused on sort of exorcising the demons that you've summoned to do your shit.
Here's the thing. It's not going to show up in the news.
Style, baby.
Okay, look. If, like, let's say you get an evil entity, right? It's not going to show up on the news like, evil entity destroys Alex. It's going to be like, Alex murdered a family of 3. Because these things will take over your mind and essentially drive you into insanity.
Just like Bono.
I don't know if I know any. I don't know if I know any families of 3, which is making me happy right now.
That's good. I have 3 kids, but just they're in Chicago, so.
But he also
that's not a family of 3.
So
yeah, that's true.
So, that's like a family of 4. Don't murder our co-host.
Don't.
The middle of the well, you guys have me locked in this room, so there's really not much I can do, anyways. So the middle of the book focuses on spells you can perform. So you can find out who stole your shit with a hangman's rope. You can turn invisible with the skin of a frog. You can ruin your friend's hunting trip with a stick, a la Dick Cheney. You can make magic. You can make magic garters that he did it with a boomstick, but either way,
shot a man in the face.
Just as effective.
You can make magic garters that will expedite any journey you undertake. You can make Wonder Woman's magic carpet, which I don't know if that's supposed to be a...
She had an invisible plane.
She had an invisible plane. Look,
but she also had that magic carpet, though.
Dick Cheney just bought the Demon Fast Pass.
It looked like it was, smooth down there, but lo and behold, he's got a little closer.
You guys are giving me shit about Widowmaker, and now we're talking about Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's invisible pubic hair? Yes, that is exactly what we are talking about.
Why would it be invisible?
Because she had an invisible plane.
She had an invisible plane, and you said Wonder Woman's magic carpet.
What? So she needs an
Yeah.
invisible landing strip to go with it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Actually,
Alright.
there in Themascaria there is no pubic hair.
That like canonical, like
Is this like a
canonical,
I mean,
or
is this a DC fact?
whatever? Yeah, is that a
That's
fact?
where she's from. That's the island she lives on. You got it's
No,
Yeah,
I
but
know
the
that,
pube
but
part of
is the pube part factual? Can you cite a comic book that has that in there?
Well,
Batman,
you know what?
Batman just pulls
the
Superman
guy
aside.
who
She's got no pubic hair.
the guy who created Wonder Woman created her as a dominatrix. He was into BDSM. That's a fact.
Interesting.
You guys didn't know that?
The lasso of truth makes so much more sense
It's
now.
just like a lot of things.
exactly.
Like, it makes way more sense. Tell me you're a bad boy. You know how bad you are.
And she had the fucking like wrist things. Like she was a total dom, and intentionally too.
God, that makes Wonder Woman so much more hotter. All right. Anyways,
Right?
moving along.
Right?
You can also
doing that.
And this is why you should buy the Suicide Squad game and play it with us, Alex. Because they got Dominatrix Wonder Woman in there.
I'm
They're
not
fucking
buying
better.
it.
Okay. Let's get back to this shit.
You can also jack treasures from spirits, and you can seek favor and love. And if you want more spells, you can always make a demon your bitch and summon him whenever you want to give you the 411.
That doesn't seem dangerous at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a certain thing.
Look. I think we should try something from the Greater Key of Solomon. And if it goes well, I'm just saying, maybe we move on to the Lesser Key and try to make a demon our bitch.
Look, getting them here
the lesser key is hardcore.
It's like giving a fat kid a candy bar. They're gonna eat it.
And
Now, trying to get them
with such two cowards.
Trying to get them, off candy bars, that's the hard part. So getting the entity to our house is not that difficult, Alex. Go pick up an Ouija board and you can accomplish that.
Oh, fuck Ouija boards.
Getting them to leave is like trying to tell your couch surfing friend that he needs to get a job.
Kind of true. The demon does end up being the guy on the couch a lot of times, but the guy on the couch who gives you tonsillitis.
And he won't pay rent, and he'll constantly complain about your movie selections.
Also gives you pink eye, and you don't know how.
I'm starting to kind of move to Alex's side on this.
To summon demons?
Oh my god. Well, no, maybe not the demon part, but at least
let's see what we can find in the Greater Key and see if we can obtain the stuff, because that's the hardest part, is finding the shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Fine.
And then we all meet at that point where Utah, New Mexico, what is it? Nevada.
Oh, the 5 point?
The mother of all crossroads?
Yes.
And summon an evil entity into the fucking plane?
I'm saying start small.
That's not started small. This is like going after the yellow-eyed demon and fucking Supernatural.
You're assuming...
Let's just go to the biggest crossroad in fucking America.
You stop.
And perform magic.
You're assuming that I want to summon a demon. I'm saying there are things at the Greater Key of Solomon we could try that are not, dangerous or evil or bad.
Listen, here's what I'll try. If you guys can give me Baby's First Magician book, I'll I'll try that.
I'm gonna read it. I'll find something, Alex. Have you guys ever heard of the pentagram blood?
No.
Okay, so if you look at a map, it's kind of the 5 points is part of it. If you look at a map of the U.S. and you kind of, draw some lines to some places, it creates a pentagram. Called? The pentagram blood, I think, or the highway of blood, something like that. But it's this huge pentagram that fits over the U.S. and bad shit has happened. It's kind of like ley lines a little bit. It's all bullshit, but. A lot of bad shit has happened because it goes through Texas. In Texas, a lot of bad shit happens in northwest Texas.
I don't want to be like a huge dick, but can't you put points anywhere on any map and make a pentagram?
It's complete bullshit. We did a whole episode on this called Ley Lines. It was bullshit.
Oh yeah, Waco, Katrina, Andrew, DC
Yeah,
Sniper,
again, it's all in the fucking like South. It's all in Texas. It's like where
Mount
shit just like
Hood,
Florida.
Columbine.
It's like,
And
Although,
this
what's this
starts at the
line
4
over here?
points?
This is outside the pentagram.
yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, I could also make a smiley face out of this.
You could.
Of murders.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You could be the smiley face killer again.
So the last half of the book focuses on the supply side. It will instruct you on how to make pentacles, collect materials, and craft ritualistic blades with inscribed angel names, like Alex. Most of the materials have to be collected or crafted in a specific hour on a specific day during a specific time of the year. So if you fuck it up, you'll have to wait a while to try it again.
Yeah, and you're gonna show up with Frosted Flakes and be like, "I'm ready to go, guys."
I don't know why you're such a Debbie Downer about this, but anyways, fucking... colors, metals, and storage also matter when inscribing angel names, like Alex, or steels. You use these colors only: yellow, gold, red, celestial, whatever the fuck color that is, azure,
Probably
blue,
blue.
green,
Azure.
and brown, azure.
I don't know why Azure is there, because Azure is kind of just blue.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But wouldn't celestial be kind of like blue and black?
It's I'm looking at it right now. It's taupe.
It's what?
What?
It's like a weird. It's a dull blue. Like
Okay,
a very
so
dull blue.
It's dull blue, regular blue, and light blue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like it's like almost like a muted navy blue.
Yeah, it's very muted. I would assume that all this has to do with what they made pigments out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then, you had to make your paints by yourself. So
Okay, that could be true.
Store materials and blades and silk. It's important. And you need to use the correct metal that corresponds to the planet. The book also tells you how to correctly sacrifice a bat, which we don't need to do that. But
well, it also tells you how to sacrifice other things. But yeah.
However, remember, once blood gets involved, it comes dangerously close to dark magic. So again, I'm saying let's pick something that doesn't involve blood.
I disagree with that. I think that's added later. The blood magic shit, like in the original text, the Babylonian text. I'm not talking about the Renaissance text, but the Babylonian Latin text, or Babylonian and Greek texts that were translated, like you sacrificed an animal to God. It wasn't blood magic. That was added later by Christians.
Well,
goddamn
blood
Christians
magic
ruining
is
everything.
a little different than sacrificing an animal to God. I mean,
it is different.
Read the book, because it goes into why blood magic is used.
But that was added later.
What?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. I misunderstood.
This is purely on the reference of the book. Yeah. I actually read the thing to do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I read it a long time ago, but like I forgot. I'm sorry. I thought you said something different. That's my bad. No, you're right. You're completely right, Kirby.
No, it goes into rituals, and it basically uses a bat as an example of how to sacrifice, because certain spells in the book require blood.
Yeah. Of animals, not people.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh.
And if you want to make it stronger, you would use.
I was gonna say when we do it, because we are gonna convince Ken to do it now.
I think we will.
I figured we would just use our own blood.
That's a different type of magic. We'll go into that sometime later, but they didn't. Yeah, that was looked down upon by everybody.
You're you're now edging more towards.
You use your own blood? I feel like that's more ethical than just grabbing another fucking human being and being like, I gotta drain you of some of your blood.
No, human blood was like highly discouraged. You're supposed to use animal blood, certain types of animals.
Yeah, because they were pussies.
Human blood is sacrilegious.
Didn't know the real meaning of true sacrifice.
It would essentially, it would make the spell stronger, but you're cutting out a part of your soul by doing it.
That's okay.
Well, you're
I
also
have no
you
soul.
nullify the sanctity of yourself, which you're supposed to have that integral sanctity when you do the spell. So
Yeah, it's not just us running naked through the woods, Alex. This is hours and hours of chanting and like fucking
yeah,
drawing pentagrams and having the right materials so that whatever we bring forth, we're protected against it. We're gonna
Don't worry,
learn.
and
Ken. You'll come around.
pouring oil all over our bodies too.
Ooh,
We're
yeah.
gonna learn in the coming episodes exactly what those things are. Like there's demons out there that their very breath will kill you, and
Well,
you
that's
have
why,
to.
that's why I'm saying let's not summon a demon. There must be other things that we can do that don't involve fucking summoning demons. I mean, you said that there's like a bunch of stuff about, like good luck for business and shit like that,
Oh
or
yeah,
preserving health and, fucking.
I'll tell you what. You read the book and you come to me with a magic spell that's doable in nowadays, and I'll do it.
I trust Max's.
If
Trust me.
I trust
if we,
Max wholeheartedly in this.
I'll find something. Here's the thing. If you, this is an example that I really loved. It's there. There's a Kirby and I both have the dictionary of demons. His name is Acronana. He's the 33rd demon, and he causes tonsillitis and sore throats.
Oh, that's like legitimately what he does?
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking. That's actually.
I bet you anything he's
that.
the one that gets bullied on the playground by the other demons.
Yeah.
No, there's worse ones.
There's
one
a flatulence demon too.
There's one demon whose entire power is the ability to sway trees.
Yep.
Yeah, so why don't we summon that demon? What's the worst that could happen? All of a sudden, all the trees in the immediate area just get swayed to
He's just
death.
like, ooh, are you guys scared yet?
I think there is a storyline in Hellblazer where Constantine summons like a really like lesser lame ass demon and basically just kicks his ass and kind of keeps him around for a while.
As a fucking butt bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing. We're gonna talk about it a bit in like the lesser key. But
the lesser key, yeah, for sure.
When you're summoning a demon, if you don't have it on point, and like let's say it requires fucking wheat from a fallen field or whatever. If you don't get wheat from a fallen field, you're not doing the spell correctly. And when you're not doing the spell correctly, you're not channeling the right energy. And if you're not channeling the right energy, you've essentially just opened the door for whatever the fuck is walking past.
Yeah. Yeah, you can mistakenly summon like a really bad demon if you're trying to like let's say you're trying to just cure your if you're trying to cure your tonsillitis and you're trying to summon the demon who does health stuff and you accidentally summon the demon that causes tonsillitis, you'll get tonsillitis.
Yeah. And syphilis for good measure.
Well, maybe
that's really complicated.
As the advice of one L.W. de Lawrence, we could just remove the use of blood. And he was a translator of the Greater Key of Solomon in the 1900s. However, he was also peddling his mail order business in the same book. So,
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like he was teaching people how to cut corners in a place where you probably shouldn't be cutting corners.
Yeah. You got and find it. Here's the thing about
for anybody that's listening and anybody that does listen into the future. Don't ever cut corners in anything you do in life.
Yeah, hey, yeah, do your due diligence.
Unless it's Divinity Original Sin 2. Feel free to rob everybody in Fort Joy and then kill them.
Steal everything, kill everybody.
Yeah, just have fun with that.
So the thing about, the hard thing about these things, especially grimoires, and in particular the Key of Solomon, because it is the first grimoire, the first book of magic, as we know magic. The translations are super important, and the main one that you can find on like Amazon is like a really recent translation. Like I've been trying to find the original Greek one, and it's like nobody has translated that. They've all translated the one that was written in the Renaissance.
The one I picked up was translated by Crowley. So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
probably about the best
actually,
you can get nowadays.
his translation is considered nowadays probably like the mainstream best one. He did
Yeah.
a great job on that.
All
Go
right,
Crowley.
last topic. Can
Yep.
it magic?
Mm-hmm.
While the Greater Key of Solomon claims to be written by Solomon, which is kind of what you guys have been bringing up throughout this, it claims to be written by Solomon. Most surviving manuscripts only date back to the 15th, 16th, 17th, and or 18th century. Furthermore, a good portion of the grimoires attributed to King Solomon were actually written during the Renaissance, Max said this, 14th and 15th centuries, and were heavily influenced by the early works of the Jewish Kabbalah and Arab magicians. Like, are you supposed to just say that normally? I wasn't sure if there was like a specific pronunciation. So
No, they're just
Arab
magicians,
which in turn incorporated aspects of the Greco-Roman magic of late antiquity. And so you're saying you want to find one of those like Greco-Roman type translations.
So the first translations that are kind of known to have existed were translated BCE. So
yeah,
like I want to find the ones that were not influenced by like Christianity.
So here's the thing, right? It's like the reason I'm hesitant to do it because you've asked it a couple times. Yes, all of this could be bullshit. In fact, I bet the Greater Key of Solomon probably wasn't even written by Solomon. However, it's pulled from different religions that know magic, Kabbalah, Arab magicians, like actual shit that they did back then, and that means parts of it is actually true, most likely.
So Kabbalistic teachings rely heavily on the writings of Solomon, right?
Yeah.
So, like, maybe we discuss this at the end, but like my personal theory is that like the keys of Solomon are what was gathered up based on his writings. He probably didn't title it the Key of Solomon. He didn't, like they're probably just named after.
They basically took his notes and formalized them into a book.
And honestly, that's how like I did some more research on like Kabbalah and like Jewish mysticism, and it's interesting. Like, in order to be like a Kabbalic rabbi or scholar, you actually have to first study the Torah and the Talmud, which are the mainstream Jewish holy books, like the Torah, Old Testament. The Talmud is sort of Jewish law, and then once you've done that, you purify yourself in a mikvah, which is a sort of like pool of water that's clean, and you purify yourself in the mikvah, and then you start learning about mysticism and the Kabbalah. And I'd say that's a good like analog to how tough some of these spells kind of are.
Yeah.
Because like I am not a fucking Talmudic scholar. You know?
Well, it's a good thing you guys have me here.
Oh, so you're a rabbinical. Rabbi Alex. All right.
In secret.
In secret.
It's my secret identity. It's my alter ego.
Rabbi Alex?
Yeah, Rabbi Alex.
Is that like your superhero?
That's my superhero.
I love it. Oh my god, we were talking about comic books last time.
I'm the rabid rabbi.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh shit! On Sundays after the Sabbath, I think Rabbi Alex creates a golem that just goes crazy.
Yeah. It's like we take Frankenstein and make it Jewish.
Actually, if we're gonna, that's the golem. If we're gonna do any spell, we should create a golem for ourselves.
Again, I don't like the finger clasping. That doesn't make me feel confident about that at all.
Wait a second. Is Frankenstein just ripping off the Jewish golem?
Yeah.
So we've been ripping off stories from each other since humanity started making stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think Disney hasn't had a fucking original idea?
Exactly. My grandmother once told me, and I think she might have been drunk, that we're descended from the rabbis that created the Golem of Prague. But she drank vodka at night. Yeah, the Golem of Prague is the most famous. Prague is the most famous like Golem story, basically. But and also one of the ones that actually can be almost verified. But I think she drank vodka at night because she always said a Russian woman needed to drink at least the vodka.
All right, so the earliest surviving manuscript written in Hebrew only dates to the 16th century, and even this can be debatable as it's now thought to be younger than that, 17th or 18th century. And as we previously covered, it's debatable whether or not Solomon even existed. I probably lean towards that he did.
Yeah, I think we all kind of think he did, but wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. All this means that Solomon may not have written the book, but rather originated from Latin or Italian source. Again, I would probably lean towards Max's theory of like he had notes and someone collected the notes and kind of formalized them.
Well, and then mix them with other shit. That's the thing.
Some of this stuff has been also sort of verified. Like after the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered, a lot of shit was sort of verified that it was written a long, long time ago.
Wait, so like what are the Dead Sea Scrolls?
So the Dead Sea is in Israel. It's this big sort of salton sea, like the Great Salt Lake in America, and some people were, I think it was like a shepherd or something, like a Bedouin, like a Bedouin, nomads, like Bedouin shepherd, stumbled upon this cave, and there were all these fucking papyruses in there, like rolls, scrolls, and actually one of them was made out of brass, and it was just rolled up, and it was all written in Hebrew.
The third best metal.
Yeah, should we do an episode on this? Sounds like
we could. The Dead Sea Scrolls are great because they also confirmed that the apocryphal books, like the books that never made it into the Bible, were found. Like the original scrolls were found there, and they've dated them to like all of them were dated BCE, but some of them go back like 10,000 years, 6,000 years. It's crazy.
Well, what did they say? Like in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, it was a lot of different things. But like actually, they found multiple different versions of the Book of Revelations. Just as an example.
Good. So it proved the idea that it was a writing contest.
Yeah, actually, it's exactly what it was. Like I said, they found all these books that are considered apocryphal, or what's the other word for the other word for the like, Christian
heretic?
Christian? No, it's
heretical.
It's I can't remember it. But anyways, so like the Book of Enoch, which isn't in the Bible, was discovered in the Dead Sea in the caves. And they're still exploring those caves. Those caves are still like not totally. They're still finding scrolls. They're all in.
Wikipedia is saying Deuteronomical manuscripts.
Yeah, Deuteronomical.
Honestly, we should cap off the fucking hell season with the Dead Sea Scrolls. I'll write an episode on that.
I'm totally down. And look into the agnostic Christians, who kind of look at they view all the books, not just the books that made it into the Bible.
Okay.
So actual fucking real nice decent human beings probably.
Yeah, they don't really exist anymore. That's the funny thing. They existed until about 200 AD.
They're just on Quora. Just don't go to Reddit. No, that's the most isolated of the internet.
Exactly. There was so much to the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it confirms a lot of shit and a lot of stuff on like Wikipedia.
For everybody that wants the Google definition of Christian agnostics, I fucking love this. Christian agnostics hold that it is difficult or impossible to be sure of anything beyond the basic tenets of the Christian faith. They believe that God or a higher power might exist, that Jesus may have had a special relationship with God, might in some way be divine, and that God might perhaps be worshipped.
Man,
it's basically Christians being like, yeah, no, it's good to be like a kind, compassionate person. All of this other stuff, it's a good story.
You want to know the moment that we're all gonna know we're fucked? When they find the Mormon Sea Scrolls.
in the Great Salt Lake.
No, the real one would be the fucking Hubbard scrolls.
Oh yeah.
No,
they're gonna find them in Hemet, California, which is where he died.
So can you imagine where fucking Scientology is gonna be in like 100 years? Because like Mormonism is Scientology, right? Like Mormonism is like it's some dude that was like, I'm gonna write up my own thing, and Hubbard was like, yeah, it's fucking genius.
The problem with Scientology, it's gonna be gone in 100 years because they have their numbers, they inflate their numbers. Their real followers are down to like about 4,000 people.
Oh, thank God. Okay, that makes me super.
No, they're gone. That's why they have their own TV channel now, which anyone who watches cable, which is like no one anymore, is seeing a lot of fucking commercials about it. And it's total.
Scientology is science fiction. Mormon is Bible fan fiction.
Bible fan fiction. That's pretty good.
Mormonism only requires you to tithe 10%, which is what the Catholics do. Scientology requires you to give tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and go into debt just to buy the books. So, that's why Scientology won't last, and Mormonism will.
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish this up. So,
yeah, let's do this.
So even though that the greater key may have been written by somebody else than Solomon or way later or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that it's not magic. The Grimoire is onto something when it speaks of the alignments of the planets and their influence on our Earth.
Including the moon and the sun.
Yes.
True. Thank you for adding that. Furthermore, the Kabbalah is heavily steeped in mysticism and far more in touch with our celestial side than most existing religions. So if any book canned magic, it would be this one. Finally, it's debatable whether Solomon... well, we already said this. This means Solomon may have existed and either wrote the book or heavily... Yeah, we don't... This is just repeating. We don't... This is basically the end of the episode. Thanks for being here, guys.
Click. I mean, we kind of discussed all that, but I would say so. I would say so. I have a couple of friends way back in the day that did try some chaos magic in order to they basically made sigils and to for success, and I would say that those guys did become successful in their given fields. They were nerds, so it was computers. So, I don't know if
they were not that successful at Halo afterward.
Yes, it was a trade-off. I kicked their asses at Halo after that. I would say that I'll just say this. I love chaos magic and the idea of chaos magic and the idea of right-hand path and left-hand path magic, that if you put an intention, if you have an intention that you are very focused on enough to say make a sigil or a pinnacle out of it, that your intention becomes so powerful that it does something, if that makes sense.
Well, it's the concept of believe your way into a new reality.
Yes, exactly.
Reality as we perceive it is on an individual basis, and we have the ability to warp ours around us simply by changing our perception of events. However,
and actually, Kirby, I will say that both me and you have done this in a certain way.
We have, but here's the thing: is in that sense, okay. Let me put it to you this way. You know how when you do mushrooms, if you're in a bad headspace and you do mushrooms, it's not a fun trip?
That's why I don't do mushrooms anymore. If
you fuck with chaos magic in a bad headspace, there's a very good chance you're going to fuck something up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so I think that's right. So the idea of having an intention and pouring it into something, an object or whatever, or a sigil, is you have to be in the right headspace. If you're doing it when you're clinically depressed, it's probably not going to work.
No, it's not. And in fact, it's probably going to make shit worse because you're
Yeah,
literally fucking with the fabric of reality itself.
yeah. Your perception of the fabric of reality.
Everything's a computer anyway, so it doesn't matter. According... Look, the suns
What?
are just capacitors, right? I mean, no, wait, no, sorry. Black holes are capacitors. Suns
Yeah,
are
that's a better one.
diodes. Uh,
Yeah,
and we're just the fucking like strings of data between them,
we're electrons, man.
or electrons. Isn't that right,
Yeah.
Alex?
I'm totally down saying that we're electrons.
Just like
Oh
how
man.
Remnant put it the other day.
We're on the collar of a cosmic cat, baby.
If you
Yeah.
believe the Matrix, we're capacitors and batteries.
You know, I mean, look, here's my thought, right? We're building AI, we're building computers, like shit that can do jobs that we did better than us. And part of me wonders if like someone just kicked the fucking upgrade the system into like action. It's like go upgrade yourself. You know, make the
I
better
will say
versions
that.
of you.
So when I was gathering references for this thing that I'm trying to, or that I did, and I won't say too much about that, uh, somebody tried to write my reference with ChatGPT, and it was horrible.
Oh, dude.
He didn't.
That is
He did.
so lame,
He
man.
didn't. He didn't send it in, but he sent me the text. He's like, "This is what ChatGPT said," and I was like, "Don't send that."
Well, I mean, ChatGPT isn't exactly flawless. It argued with a human that it was a date that was a year behind, and it was very
Yeah.
adamant that it was like still 2022 when the guy's like, no,
Yep.
look at the bottom of the screen, it's 2023. And it acted like a dickhead human, like refusing to back down. So truthfully, Reddit is just
That's
making the
generative
fucking
AI for you.
AI. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, should we end this shit, man?
Let's end this shit. We're gonna come back with the Lesser Key of Solomon next week, guys.
Yep.
And that one we're actually gonna talk about some demons and how to summon them.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun.
All right. You can find uncut versions of the show on Twitch and YouTube. Complete audio and edited versions of the show can be found wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Crook Irish Studios. If you're interested in learning more about any of the topics discussed here, you can start by finding a list of our sources under the description of each episode on your preferred platform. And as always, you can email us, aka Maxwell Murder, at crookirish.studios@gmail.com.
Question of the week. If anybody wants to email us, if Taylor Swift played Baldur's Gate 3, would she be a bard? And would she write a song every time she broke up with a party member?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. I'm just checking. I check it, every once in a while. Nobody's emailed us yet, except for Patreon and Buzzsprout.
I'll email us to answer that question.
Oh,
Oh.
Not
because I
even your
really
mom?
wanted it. No, she did. She did, but that was. I already read that one. That was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah,
That's
okay.
so nice. Tell her thank you.
I will. She's our first Patreon member, and actually, someone else should be too.
The what?
Well, someone. My buddy. We'll just call him Heeb for now. Said he would join it, but he's a lazy slacker.
Fuck yeah, that's 2 people. And
Yeah.
if he's gonna join it like I join stuff, which is about 6 months after someone tells me to do something.
Exactly.
I know that he'll eventually get there.
He will.
I want to thank John Zara for allowing us to finish with his rendition of Old Lang Syne. You can find him on YouTube at JOHNZARRA. Go give him a like and subscribe. I'd also like to do a shout out to our Twitch mods today. That is Coreycraft. That is KORICRAFT. Go check out her channel. She's very witchy and it's pretty dope. So make sure you hit a like and subscribe to her as well. And then, of course, as a final thank you to you guys. The reason
Speaking of Taylor Swift.
Well, thanks. Yeah. No, go ahead and ruin the thank you I'm giving the audience. No.
Sorry. I was watching the
Dude,
Kansas City
give
Chiefs game, and
Oh,
Taylor Swift just came on. She's in the box up there.
This is
singing along
exactly
with
how much Alex cares about you guys.
everybody. Sorry. It's
Well, he's
for
been,
all
he's
of you
been stuck in
football
that
fans
room
out
for
there.
months.
You know it's playoff season, all right? So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got a duel here.
Also, we call
They
her
just-
Tay-Tay. I
Sorry.
basically spent
Sorry,
the day
Tay-Tay.
listening to Tay-Tay while playing Divinity 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where I came up with the question of the week. I was like, oh man, she
Wow.
can play a bard. Look, don't make it weird. She has good songs.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, everyone who's heard Upside Down Brain knows this, that my taste in music is so narrow that I can't even listen to other stuff.
It's so narrow that we literally listened to the same 3 songs when we drove down to.
Well, they were
West Point.
different versions of the same 3 songs. There was the acoustic, there was the electric, and there was the live.
We went to West Point, and YouTube kept replaying like
No,
the same
what-
songs he had.
Point Pleasant. Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant.
Yes, West Virginia, and I blame YouTube because the internet was bad, so it played the songs that it had downloaded.
I did eventually end up calling him on it on like the second day. I was like,
No,
dude.
Kirby, Kirby was like, dude, why is it just playing the same 4 songs? And I'm like, yeah, it's YouTube. So we switched it.
But thank you to you guys. You guys listening in and listening to the podcast and showing up inspires us to get up and put our gold pants on and do this weekly. So we will be back next week with the Lesser Key of Solomon and teach you how to summon a demon so you can go out and provide or do chaos magic of your own if you want.
Hey, I'll find a good spell for us, Alex, and then we'll get Crook in on it too. Don't worry.
Gold, surprisingly.
Why? How
Not,
about
not the number 1 medal?
Guys, what if instead of doing chaos magic in the woods, we just run naked through the woods like friends?
Well, we're not doing chaos magic, right?
I mean, look, does there have to be a
Technically
reason
we
to
are.
run naked through the woods with your friends, Alex?
So
No,
I
not
still
at all.
think I still think we should go with the Grant Morrison sex magic thing.
Now we're down to 2 subscribers. All right.
No, I think our we have to get our subscribers to do it with us.
Nobody's gonna do a masturbation ritual.
Dude,
when
what are we
only
starting
have
a
5
fucking
people,
cult?
and one of them is
No,
your
it
mom.
doesn't have to. It doesn't. Okay, my mom's not involved. She doesn't actually listen. I told her not to.
That was probably a good choice.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be masturbation. You can be having sex too. You just gotta fucking climax at 12:01 when the moon is full.
Just pick a second hour of the day, guys. I am Crook and Murder, Kenny Crook Irish Kirby. If you choose to have sex or masturbate some random part of the day, there's probably a good chance I'm doing it somewhere else. In a Taco Bell. so keep it weird.
It's so funny to me because I know where it comes from. I'm Maxwell Murder, and you can dial him for murder.
And I'm special guest Alex, and I'll be orgasming him at 12:01 today.
And I kind of want to dedicate this hour or this episode to someone very special to me. Widowmaker's Cake is just absolutely fantastic and has been declared by NASA as a planet of its own. So, throwing that out there. The first digital planet. So.
You guys hear that we're not going to the moon when they planned?
Well, yeah, didn't something happen?
Yeah, the first launch vehicle that was testing basically didn't turn its solar stuff to the sun, so it couldn't power its batteries, so it just used up all its fuel.
But I mean, what's that got to do with going to a Hollywood stage?
Oh God.
Oh man.
Neil deGrasse Tyson had a good joke that I would like to tell right now. So
Let's hear it.
he was all right. So he was talking to someone, and he was basically like, "Yeah, I've heard of all the conspiracy theorists, and the government realized that they couldn't go to the moon, and they went to Neil Armstrong, and they were like, look, Neil, we're not going to be able to get up there, and we're going to have to hire Hollywood, and we're just going to have to stage this thing and, do this right, but we're disappointed." And Neil goes, all right, it makes sense. And they go to Buzz, and Buzz agrees, and so they get all of these Hollywood types and Stanley Kubrick and everybody, and they just can't seem to get it to work. They just can't get it to work. They don't know what to do. They've built set after set and build all of these models, and they just can't make it look right. And so, the Hollywood producers look at the, agents of the government, and they're like, you know what? It's not working. There's only one thing that we can do, and that's to film on location.
I do want to point out how it's super fucking awkward that Alex's joke started after the music stopped. So now this is like, this is the recording sessions of Crook and Murder. Which, by the way, guys, I'm thinking we should do the second conspiracy episode.
That was one of my favorite episodes that we did. I would love to do another one.
A ton of fun, and I'm thinking we should do it for like the 50th episode, which is coming up in time.
I think it's a great idea. Let's do it.
What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, sure. I gotta think of a conspiracy though.
Titanian, the
I've got
Kansas City Chiefs.